Right now, breaking news on News Channel 8.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Josh Benson.
And I'm Stacy Scheibel. Thanks for joining us. We do begin with somber breaking news at this hour. Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96.
Yeah, the monarch started serving as queen in 1952 at just 25 years old and ruled for more than 70 years. Taking a live look now as hundreds of flowers and tributes are now sitting in front of Buckingham Palace. This is a live look. Look at them all. Lots of flowers there. A lot of people paying their well wishes. The Queen spent majority of her time living right there at Buckingham Palace.
And Queen Elizabeth is Britain's longest reigning monarch in history.
Tamsin Fatal has a look at the Queen's life and achievements.
Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor was born into royalty, the first daughter of the Duke and Duchess of York, later King George VI and Queen Elizabeth I. She became heir presumptive after the abdication of her uncle, King Edward VIII, in 1936. And after the passing of her father in 1952, a 25-year-old Queen Elizabeth was officially named head of the Commonwealth. Queen Elizabeth II was coronated on June 2, 1953, beginning a reign that included major political changes, meetings with 12 sitting U.S. presidents, and more than a handful of hardships. At the time of her death, Queen Elizabeth was not only the longest living and longest reigning British monarch, but also the world's longest serving female head of state, in a royal tenure that long didn't come without criticism and controversy, the first being her engagement to Prince Philip. Some royal advisors deemed the prince, who had little financial standing and was foreign-born, an unsuitable partner for then Princess Elizabeth. Regardless, the pair married in 1947 and had their first child, Prince Charles, less than a year later. They had 4 children total: Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Charles married his wife, Princess Diana of Wales, in 1981. The fairy tale wedding was broadcast to a global television audience, and 600,000 spectators lined the streets near St. Paul's Cathedral to catch a glimpse of the couple.
A kiss, which receives a roar of approval from the crowd.
But despite fairy tale appearances, all of Elizabeth's children struggled in their personal lives. She referred to 1992 as her annus horribilis, or horrible year. During the first 3 months of her 25th year on the throne, she witnessed the breakdown of Prince Andrew's marriage to his wife, Princess Sarah, and Princess Anne's marriage to equestrian captain Mark Phillips. Later, Prince Charles formally split from his wife, Princess Diana. The pair officially divorced in 1996, 2 months after the Queen urged them to do so. Perhaps the most devastating and most enduring tragedy of the Queen's reign came in 1997, when Diana died in a car crash a year after her divorce from Charles. She left behind 2 children, young Prince William and Prince Harry. The glamorous activist was an international icon whose tragic death left a lasting impact on the royal family's legacy. Mourners left offerings outside of Kensington Palace for months. On September 5, 1997, Queen Elizabeth paid tribute to her late daughter-in-law during a live television broadcast. Her funeral took place in Westminster Abbey the next day. The youngest son of Diana and Charles, Harry, later left the royal family with his American wife, actress Meghan Markle, in a bombshell interview with Oprah. The pair accused members of the royal family of racism, though Markle clarified the Queen was uninvolved. Just a month later, the Queen lost the love of her life, Prince Philip, at the age of 99. Elizabeth's oldest son, Prince Charles, is next in line for the throne at 72 years old. He is the oldest heir apparent in the history of the monarchy.
And of course, there is a line to the British throne, as you can see in this diagram here. Charles, officially right now, is known as King Charles III. He's the Queen's oldest son, inherited the sovereign title and the job of head of Commonwealth at this point. And then you see where it heads after that. Prince William, of course, would be next in line, following his 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis Arthur Charles. And finally, you would have Prince Harry, who would round out the line to the British throne. But the big news of the day, Queen Elizabeth II passing away at the age of 96.
And turning to our weather, boy, it has been a rainy, stormy day. It's not our typical weather pattern during this time of year. Rebecca.
No, we had things change a little bit. We saw westerly winds set up today, and there's a ton of moisture and rain across the Gulf right now. And so the winds out of the west are pushing those waves of rainfall over our area. We even had a tornado warning earlier in Pasco County near Zephyr Hills. That was just after the lunch hour. We haven't gotten any official damage reports, but other than flooding out of Pasco County right now associated with that tornado warning. Here's what's left of the rain. We're still starting to get into lighter rain along the coastline, and that will be the trend for the evening hours is lighter rain along the coast, but we're still seeing some pretty heavy rain over inland areas. Zooming into Hillsborough and Pinellas right now, you can see mostly light rain with some pockets of moderate rain making their way on shore. And so it's just messy out there and a little damp as well. Making our way closer to the center of the area of heavy rain moving towards Wauchula, moving into Hardee and DeSoto counties right now. We have some moderate rain pushing past Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch, and then Polk County's next for more moderate rain. There's some lighter rain moving in, but you can see in the southern areas of Polk County here, we're getting some of those pockets of heavier rain as well. And so unfortunately, it's just going to be messy out there for the next several days, and that will contribute to our chances for flooding. We're taking a look at your radar estimated rainfall totals for the past 12 hours. We have some hot spots in the 4 to 5 inch rain, especially in coastal Pasco County there. Also down near Bradenton, we had some pretty heavy radar estimated rainfall totals. The yellow indicates 2 to 3 inches of rain, and we do have a swath of that as well, stretching across northern Hillsborough and southern Pasco County, and then out closer to Orlando as well. But then most of our area in that 1 to 2 inch range, which is the green. And so unfortunately, it will continue to be pretty soggy out there for the evening hours. Here's the rain that's lined up, ready to get pushed on shore. We are expecting this to continue tomorrow with widespread chances for rain. I'll walk you through that forecast hour by hour coming up next.
Okay, thanks for that. St. Petersburg residents are demanding more be done to address the affordable housing crisis. Today, they held a rally to send a message to City Council. 8 on your sides, Melissa Marino joins us live at St. Pete at City Hall, where the City Council is meeting right now. Melissa?
Well, hey, Josh, good afternoon. Yeah, residents say that rising rent as well as evictions are getting out of control, and they want the city to do more.
Tenants are continuing to get gouged by landlords, and evictions in the Tampa Bay area are rising above historical averages for 3 months in a row now.
The St. Petersburg Tenants Union saying enough is enough. They rallied before today's city council meeting to demand universal tenants' right to counsel when facing an eviction, city-owned public housing, and rehousing assistance for rent increases. City council members are looking at new ordinances that would require more notice of rent increases and allow affordable housing to be built in areas zoned for commercial use.
To qualify for the affordable housing site plan approval process.
But at their last meeting, City Council declined to put rent control on the ballot to let voters decide. Residents worry the problem will only get worse if more isn't done.
It doesn't feel like the Sunshine City here today to me. When we see hundreds of thousands of people being evicted, being displaced.
Now, these new ordinances will be discussed at an upcoming public hearing on September 15th. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on that. I also did reach out to city council members for comment today, but they declined to comment before the meeting. Reporting live, Melissa Marino, 8 on your side.
A Largo man is dealing with an unusual IRS problem, and investigator Shannon Benkin joins us now to explain what's happening.
Well, Josh, it's a very unusual problem. This man had an IRS check that was sent to him, and he found out that it's $10,000 short of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're going to notice that, right? So what happened?
Absolutely. Erwin A's of Largo, he's been dealing with this problem, trying to get in touch with the IRS to figure out how he can fix this, and he tells me that no one will call him back.
Unbelievable. So $10,000 short. You're going to notice something like that. So how does that happen?
Yes. Well, you see the check there, and I wanted to zoom in because that looks like it's supposed to be a 1. He says it's supposed to be a 1, and when I went to look at it for myself, it looks like it's supposed to be a 1. But he can't cash it because the 1's not actually there.
I suppose he doesn't want to draw it in or anything. Has he tried to?
Yes.
Some people probably would try that. Has he tried to deposit the check?
You know, he actually joked that he was thinking about just drawing it in because he has the paperwork that matches it. It's supposed to be there. He went to the bank, though, and they said, no, you can't really do that. And if he tried to cash it as is, they would not be able to deposit it because they don't really know what the amount is. I want you to hear from him.
So the discrepancy will red flag this, and then you may start a real problem. So to avoid that, contact the IRS. Simple, yes? Show me how.
That was my favorite comment that he had.
Getting a hold of the IRS doesn't seem like a very easy task.
No, but he made the point, of course, if they want to get a hold of you, you owe them. It might be a different story.
Were you able to get a hold of them?
Well, I was able to get a hold of the contact that I have with the IRS, and I have to tell you, Josh, I was not happy with the response that I got from the IRS.
That's saying something, too.
I was not happy at all. We will hear more. You'll hear more from the IRS tonight about what they had to say about this, but you know me. I didn't stop there.
Yeah.
I kept on, and you're going to be able to see what we were able to come up with.
This will be interesting because getting a hold of them is not an easy task.
No, it's
so
not.
looking forward to that. Thanks so much. If you have a problem that needs solving, better call Benkin. There's a phone number on your screen. It's 1-855-BENKIN, or you can reach her on Facebook at WFLA Shannon.
NASA officials say they are now targeting September 23rd and September 27th as possible launch windows for the Artemis 1 moon mission. Officials say ground teams continue to inspect that hydrogen fuel line that began leaking on Saturday. Managers say they're confident that they can fix the leak, and they hope to do a full tank testing on September 17th. The launch date depends on the test results and approval from the Space Force.
Still to come, new details on the deadly shooting rampage in Memphis, Tennessee.
What court records show about the suspect's criminal history.
You're watching News Channel 8, awarded the 2021 Suncoast Regional Emmy for News Excellence.